Hi, Kevin. I'm going to make Kevin a co-host.
Good morning, Vicki.
Good morning.
Good morning, Vicki.
Hello, hello. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
It is
Good.
bright and early here in San Jose, California. Ready to start my day.
It is gorgeous in the state of Illinois. We're getting like 70+ degree weather.
Oh, it's about time, right?
Yes, it's gorgeous here.
I'm gonna let a couple
It's
of
showing
folks-
up our thugs, but my name is Rochelle. You can change it if you want.
Rochelle, here, let me go ahead and do that for you, Rochelle. Where's my rename? Is it R-O-C-H?
R-A-C-H.
E-L-L-E?
Correct.
All right, we got Rochelle.
Hey, Vicki, this is Michael, your TA.
Hi, Michael. I made Kevin a co-host. Do I need to make you a co-host instead?
Yeah, sure, because Kevin is
Alrighty.
here to push it a live stream. I will be moderating your chats and class.
Wunderbar.
Thanks.
All right. So Kevin, I'm gonna remove co-host. Okay. All right. All this activity going on. We are pushing to live stream today. It's all good though. That's what's so wonderful about this. It's all good. Fabulous. So we're gonna probably wait another minute. We'll have some more folks joining us today. I'm just curious, how many folks have actually worked with Google Drive? You can just like show of hands or put.
Little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
Little bit, right.
Okay. Means that, and other folks are probably like, what is this? So, and that's
Are you
what we're all-
asking, are you saying participate, or are you talking about work, meaning you get paid from?
No, just actually using it. Just
Oh,
no. Okay. All right, Joyce. That's fine. And that's what today is all about. So it's all good. Deep breath. I mean, it's all about learning. So Charlie's like a little. Okay. Thanks, Charlie, for that. And we'll do a bit of a deeper dive today, just so that folks get comfortable understanding what it is. And I am going to go ahead and get started. And Karen's like, not at all. All right, that's why I asked. So I get a feel for who's been using it, who hasn't. So thanks for letting me know. And today we have, I wanted to introduce, we have Michael with us. We have a number of different TAs that pop in and out. We have Michael with us from our support team. Michael is going to be helping out with the chat today. And if there are any other technical issues, you can let us know. So and Lena, thanks for popping in. We're good so far. So if you have any questions, please feel free just to unmute yourself today and or just pop your question into the chat if you feel comfortable doing that. For people who are comfortable using the virtual raise hand, give that a shot. I mean, it's a very informal class here. I love participation. So just ask away. And I'm also going to ask everyone if you could put your microphones on mute. We're going to have other people probably joining us. So you can put your microphones on mute. And then if you have a question, again, just unmute yourself, do that virtual, raise hand. Also, if you raise your hand, I'll see it. So, I just like to give people choices. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let me share my screen And let me first put this on. So I'm going to share my screen with everyone today. And first of all, welcome everyone. My name is Vicki. I'm your Get Set Up guide for today. I am calling in from San Jose, California. It's in Northern California in the heart of Silicon Valley. And surprisingly, I worked in high tech for 30 years. I did a number of different things, held different positions, everything from technical support, lots of technical training and instructional design. I've taught people from around the world. I've taught folks who are very technical. And I've also taught people who are brand new to the world of technology. And for me, being a guide with Get Set Up allows me to do what I love best, and that is educating folks about technology. So this is a dream come true. You know, this is perfect, a perfect fit for me. Just a couple of housekeeping details before we dive right into it today. You know, we're a learning community. We learn from each other. Ideally, we love it if you turn your cameras on. It's great for us to see you. You get to see other people, but I don't insist on it. I know some folks are just not comfortable. Also, if you have any problems turning your camera on, just let us know. Today's class is being recorded, and if you would like a copy of the recording, you can always email us at help@getsetup.io and request a copy of the recording. If you are joining us via live stream today, welcome. You can hear and see everything that we're doing in class today, but I always suggest that folks register for one of our classes on our getsetup.io website. And that way you can really fully participate in class. And lastly, Get Set Up is a training organization. We're not paid to promote any products or we don't get any commissions to, or fees to sell products or services to you. So we're all about the learning, the training, and we're about getting folks connected so that you can take full advantage of all the classes, the social hours, don't forget about them, the interest groups that are available on our platform. And just know that we offer classes and social hours, interest groups that are going on 7 days a week. And we also are now offering classes that are taught in India, Canada, the UK, and Australia. So we pretty much have 24/7 coverage, which is really exciting. I just love to see that. What are we going to cover today? First of all, we're going to make sure everybody understands what is Google Drive. And then we're going to talk a little bit about making sure we're comfortable navigating within Google Drive. How do you create files and folders? We're also going to cover some of the other basic functions. What can you do in Google Drive? Copying files, renaming them, uploading, downloading files, and so on. So we're going to cover all of that. And then we're going to talk about how can you share files and folders, because that's a really big feature of the Google Apps Suite, is being able to share information, share files and folders, and collaborate with others. So with that said, I have an idea of where people are when it comes to working with Google Drive. And so don't worry if you've never used the Google Drive app, just take it all in. I'm going to be demonstrating a lot of different things today. So feel free to come back and take this class as many times as you need to, or request a recording, a copy of the recording today. So first of all, what is Google Drive? Now, for those of you who've been using some of the Google apps, whether it's Google Docs or any of, Google Photos or Sheets or Slides, any of them, any file that you've created using any of the Google apps, and that includes your calendar, as well as if you're using Gmail, Google Drive is your own personal storage space in the Google Cloud. And so any files that you've created using any of the Google apps are stored on your Google Drive. So again, it's your own personal storage area. Now, when you sign up for your Google account, which is free, you get your own Google Drive. So each Google account has its own separate Google Drive. The Google Drive comes with 15 gigabytes of storage capacity. That's, free storage capacity. You can also purchase additional storage, and it's not very expensive. The nice thing about working with Google Drive is that your files are automatically backed up. They're always available. So that means if you've created a file, maybe you use Google Docs to create a document, you created it using your laptop, you can always access that file from any other device. You just log into your Google account, and then if you have an internet connection, whatever device, even if it's not your device, you have access to any of those files that are saved on your Google Drive. And so that's nice to know. Also, remember this automatic file backup. If something happens to one of your devices, maybe your laptop just goes kaput, nothing happens to any of the files that you've created on your Google Drive because they're in the cloud, they're online, they're not sitting on your actual device. So you still have access to them. And let me know if anybody has any questions about that. By the way, today you're going to see me moving, shifting my head back and forth. I have two monitors and I have different things on different monitors. So let me know if you have any questions about
Vicki, this is Rochelle. I have a question.
Sure.
So now you was talking about the storage space. So if it's in Google Cloud, will that take the space up on your Google Drive or no?
Yes, that's exactly what's happening. Your Google Drive is just your own storage, little personal storage space area within the Google Cloud. Yes, it will. And we're going to talk about that. We'll get into a little bit more detail. Hopefully that will clear stuff up.
Yes, this is Joyce.
Hi, Joyce.
So you're saying that I had Gmail before the drive. So if I use, I'm automatically in the drive if I use other Google, what do you call
Google Apps? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's a great question. So if you use Gmail, you already have a Google account, which means that you already have a Google Drive. You may not be aware of it, but you have it. And just know that with that free storage capacity of 15 gigabytes, all of your Gmail, your emails are going towards that 15 gigabytes. And I'm going to show you how you can see how much storage you've used up already. We'll take a look at that. So hopefully that answered your question.
Mhm.
Okay, great. Let me keep going. And again, any questions, just stop me. So today I am working on a laptop, but if any of you are working on different devices, I will try to, I won't try, but I'll go ahead and address how you can navigate through the that app, the Google Drive app that's on your device. But just know that today I'm working off of a web browser. It's just easier for me to show folks, to demonstrate. Everything is all in one place. And in order to access your Google Drive, you do need to be signed into your Google account. And from the web browser, I'll show you how to click on the waffle icon and then select the Google Drive app. Now, if you're working off of a mobile device, a tablet or your phone, you can download the Google Drive app from the App Store or from your Google Play Store, and you can work off of your Google Drive in that way as well. So again, let me know if you have any questions. And what I'm going to do now is I have another web browser open. Let me just bring it right over here. And I'm going to go ahead and just fill up the screen with this one. And let me know if you have any questions. And let me just start by going to google.com. I've already logged into my Google account here. I just have a number of different test accounts. If you're using a web browser today, you'll click on this little waffle icon. And what that does is it brings up a whole menu of all the different Google apps in the app suite. You can click on this drive icon here. That's your Google Drive. If you're on a tablet or a smartphone today, again, you'll be downloading the Google app from the store and you'll be opening it up separately. And it's going to look similar. You can do all the same functionality. And what I'll be doing is today, in our after class notes, I'll go ahead and provide a screenshot of what the interface looks like if you're working on a mobile device today with all of the different menus pointed out. So not to worry. All right, this is what the Google Drive interface looks like. So let's talk a little bit how we navigate, and it'll be very similar on your devices. So let's talk a little bit about what we're seeing. So when you first open up your Google Drive, what will happen is you'll be in what's called, this mode here. You may see quick access, and this is mostly if you're on the laptop. It's a little bit different if you're on your mobile device, but all the functionality again is the same. So what I'm seeing here is something called a quick access. When you first open up your Google Drive for the very first time, you most likely will not have anything shown in this quick access, because what's happening is I've been opening up different files on my Google Drive, and Google gets smart enough to know after a while, oh, these are some of the files that you keep opening. I'm just going to make them available to you in this quick access, so you don't have to keep hunting around there. Boom, they're right there. So that's what the quick access is. It just shows you the most often used files that you've been opening up and accessing. Down at the bottom over here is where you have a listing of your different folders. You can open up a folder to see files, individual files, and I'm just going to click on My Drive to get back to the default. So this is, I call this the Files and Folders area. And then on the left-hand side here, what you're seeing are system-created folders. And we're going to talk about each one of these. So you didn't create these, Google did. If I click on this little triangle on the side here, what it's going to do is under My Drive, and this means your Google Drive, these are folders that I've created. And underneath these folders, there may be subfolders, and we'll talk about that as well. So these are my personal folders that I've created on my drive. And then all the rest here on the left-hand side, these are system generated folders for you. We'll take a look at how you're going to use them. Let's talk a little bit about this storage here, because I know that's important for folks. And again, this is that 15 gigabytes that comes with your Google Drive. It's free. It tells you right over here how much of that 15 gigabytes you've used. I haven't used very much. This is just a test account. What's really nice is you'll see this gray bar over here. As you really start to fill up your Google Drive, whether it's with photos, videos, files, any type of a file can be stored on your Google Drive. This gray bar will start to get filled up with a color, and it's going to show you how much storage you currently used up. I've used up a very, very small amount. So there's really no color bar that's starting to come across it yet. But it's a nice visual to have, which will show you, you've used up half of your amount of storage or maybe a third. So that's really nice to know about the storage. And if you're wondering, well, how much does it cost me to buy storage? If I click on the buy storage button here, this gives you the different plans, and these are monthly plans. So here's our free plan. And then for about $2 a month, you can purchase 100 gigabytes. For $3 a month, there's 200 gigabytes. And then there's something called a terabyte for $10 a month. That's a lot of space. And so just understand that it's not expensive to buy storage space. It becomes less and less expensive as time goes on. So let me know if you have any questions about that.
Vicki, this is Rochelle.
Yeah.
So if you buy more storage space, does that slow your computer down? How does that affect you?
Nope, it doesn't. It just gives you more space in the cloud. Your
doesn't.
storage capacity just gets bigger.
Okay, but it doesn't affect the use because,
No.
I mean, with the 50 megabytes, when you get close to that, it'll start running.
It will tell you what's happening is if you try to, for example, create a new file or upload files, it will tell you you don't have any more space or you're getting close to your capacity.
So can you delete files to free up space?
Yep, I'm going to show you how to do that. That may be, and from time to time, you will probably want to go through your emails and delete anything you know is really old that you're not using anymore, or go through your Google Drive and say, oh, you know what, I don't even use this folder anymore. Let's delete some of these old files. So either or, just know you can always purchase more capacity.
But another question. Like me, I got an Android phone and I have email on my phone. So if I delete it on my phone, will it automatically delete it off my computer, or do I have to go? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just asking questions.
No, this is great because your questions really help other people learn. So just know that it's one account, whether you're using it from your Android phone or on your laptop or your tablet, it's all connected. So whatever you do on one device will automatically update information that you see on your other devices.
Now, another thing too, since I got your attention, can you, like after so many days, can you delete, like when you go to your settings or something, my friend was telling me that you can go there and after so many days, push it in like 30 days and it'll automatically delete that. Would that take it out the Google account too, or no?
Yes, it will. Yeah, it sure will. And I'm going to show you that when we talk about the trash, I'm going to show you how that works. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Pat, you had your hand raised. I know we have another question.
What about security? Does Google have access to everything you put in the drive that they can maybe take one of your kids' photos or things like that?
No, your Google Drive, everything here is private unless you share it with others. We'll talk about that. So this is private. You log on to your Google account.
Thank you.
And you have to have your username and password. If you're working with Google support, they're going to ask you for your information. They can't access your data. Okay.
Because when you sign into, or set up a Google account, when you read all that security or privacy cases, they do have access. They say they have access.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that you have to realize is, and this is up to you. All apps are collecting information about you. And at some point, they probably do have access. So if there's something that you really feel uncomfortable with, then don't put it on your Google Drive. I mean, if there are things that you really are just uncomfortable with, then this is up to you. You know, it's great to be able to share things. And if you're concerned, then just keep it on your device. If
Well,
you're
they
really
wouldn't,
concerned.
you know, they wouldn't take pictures, let's say, of your grandkids or your kids and, you know, oh, this is a cute picture of a little kid. And then all of a sudden the world knows your picture. You're
No.
sharing it with your sister or your, you know.
Yeah. And when you share it with your family members, just those family members have access to it.
Okay.
And that's what's really great about the share capability. You specifically say this person I'm sharing with, this person and this person, nobody else.
They mainly will use that information if it's a security breach or
Yeah.
terrorism or something like that.
Yes, exactly.
The joys of
Yeah.
travel are
Yeah.
wherever your journey
Great
takes you.
question.
Peaceful parks,
All right, I'm going to keep
Great
moving
cities.
forward, and let me know if you have any other
Across the
questions. This
or
is
just
how
across
we
town.
learn. Monique,
even
did you
when
have
we
a question? I
can't
see your
travel
hand is
physically, we
raised.
can venture out
I'm
in
using
spirit.
an iPad, and I just
Travel
wanted,
is a
you know,
mindset.
there's also a cloud on the iPad, so can we have
Travelers
both the
follow
Google
their
and
dreams.
the Apple
And
Cloud,
mine generally take
Yes,
me
you can.
to Europe.
Yeah.
and it gives you like two? It's two different.
Actually, no, it's going to be, so your iCloud storage, and we have a class, actually, Kevin gives a great class on the iCloud. So your Google Drive is just a really nice way of accessing your files and photos and videos that are saved on the iCloud. And the iCloud really helps you synchronize files from different devices.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I would
Thank you.
definitely, you're welcome. So here, I'm just going to continue walking through the different parts of the drive. And, you know, finding out about Google Drive was so helpful for me because in the beginning, when I started using the Google apps, you know, I would create a document using Google Docs, or I'd create, you know, a spreadsheet with Google, you know, Sheets. I had no idea where this stuff was being held. I had no idea where to access it. You know, people were sharing files with me. I'm like, where do I even get this? Everything is in your Google Drive. And so this is what the layout looks like. Again, this is on the web browser on a laptop. It's very similar on a tablet or a phone, and everything, all the functionality I'm talking about today, you can do no matter what device you're working off of. And so we talked a little bit, let me show you about the different views. That's one thing that I didn't get a chance to talk about. So we're back on our drive, and there are two different ways that you can view information, two different views. There's grid view and list view. So what I'm looking at here is something called list view. It just simply lists whatever files and folders you have there. If I click on this icon over here, it looks like a little grid. What that does is it changes, if I were to open up, let's see if I have bike races here. What that does is it puts you into grid view, and it just shows you different, like a preview version, if you will, of your file to help make it a little bit easier to say, oh, this is the file that I'm looking for. And again, if I just go back and click on list view, it shows it just in a different way, a different manner. And so these are just like, you know, the names of your files. And then if I click on that grid view again, it shows you the name of the file, but also a quick preview of what's in the file. And it really has to do with your preference. How do you like to see your files? What else do we want to talk about? So those are the views. And I put this in here because some folks are still kind of new to working with what we call electronic, you know, files and folders. So for those of you who may be grappling with this concept, think about when we worked in offices and you would open up a filing cabinet. think of that filing cabinet as your Google Drive, because that's where you keep all of your files. And so within your filing cabinet, you have your folders, and that's what we're seeing here. These are your, My Drive is the cabinet, your filing cabinet, and then each one of these folders over here, bike races, finances, skiing, these really correlate to the folders, that we know, the paper folders within our filing cabinet. And then within each folder, there are going to be different documents, whether they're word processing documents, spreadsheets, photos. And so if it helps you to think about that, just go back to this idea of, I open up my filing cabinet, that's my Google Drive, and then I have my little folders. And then when I open up a folder, that's where all my files live. So hopefully that just gives you a nice visual for those folks who are just really starting to work with this. All right, what else do we want to talk about? Let's really get into it and start looking at this navigation pane. And then we're going to also talk about how do you start creating your files and folders. What are some of the other functions you can do with our Google Drive? So let's talk a little bit about this pane, this navigation panel over here. So these, I've created different folders, and that's what you're seeing. These are my personal folders underneath my Drive, shared with me. So these are really nice shortcuts, if you will, as you start working with Google Drive. If someone has shared any files with you, I don't have any right now, but they will show up here. If you click on the recent folder here, these are the most recent files that you've been working with. So this is kind of nice. If you've been working with the same set of files over and over again, you can access them just by clicking on recent. Monique, did you have a question at all? Or I saw you maybe trying to, you're, Monique, just so that you know, you're muted. So you'll have to unmute your microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
That's okay. Did you have a question? I was just curious.
No, not
Okay.
really. I mean, maybe later.
Okay, that's great. I just saw you talking, so I was like, oh, not a problem. So this is what the recent folder does. It shows you your most recently opened files. Starred, and I'm going to show you how to star or make a file a favorite. And so think of starred as favorites. So you can flag files as favorites or starred, and what that does is it will enable you to very quickly access a file in your starred folder. And then the trash, these are all the different files and folders that you've recently deleted. And I think we had a question about how long do we keep files for? So in your Google Drive, when you delete files or folders, they will remain in the trash for 30 days, and then they are deleted forever. Now, when you've deleted a file or folder, you can always come into the trash within those 30 days, and you can retrieve files or folders before they're permanently deleted. And I'll show you how to do that. So I know we had some questions about that. And Charlie, can you stop sharing with someone's file that you don't use anymore if they own the file? Which all you can do is you can't stop the sharing, but you can remove the link. That's what they're really doing, is they're giving you a link to their file. So it's not taking up space on your Google Drive, but if you don't want to see it anymore, you can always just click on remove. And what it's doing is it's removing the link so it doesn't show up in your Google Drive anymore. And so these are the different system generated folders that you have access to when you're working with your Google Drive. The next thing I wanted to do was to show you how do we start creating new folders, creating files, and uploading and downloading files from different devices. So I'm going to just come back up to my Drive. And there is a new button over here to the left. If I click on the new button, and for folks that are on a tablet or a smartphone, you have a big plus sign. It's a big round button with a plus sign, and that will do the same thing. It looks just like this, but it's round. And so it has plus, it doesn't have the word new. So if I click on the new button here, there's a menu that's available to me. And you'll see it has folder, and I can upload files as well as folders. So if I were to click on folder right now, what it's doing is it brings up another little screen, and I can do, I'll just put out my test folder. Nothing creative, there we go. And what's happened is it's now created a new folder called My Test Folder, and it's sitting right underneath my Drive. And again, I just clicked on the new button and I selected folder. And so that's as easy as it gets. You can also double click on any folder to open it up, or if you're on a mobile device, you simply tap on the folder to open it up. Now I can start adding files to this folder. I can click and drag if you're comfortable with that. I can upload, I'll show you how to do that. Or I can start right from Google Drive creating a brand new file. So if I click on my new button, this is where I can upload a file or an entire folder, or I can select one of the Google apps if I wished, and I can click on a blank document here. So if I went to Google Docs and I clicked on this little arrow that's pointing to the right, I could click on a brand new document, a brand new document either from a template or a blank document. It brings me to that Google app, and I can just say, testing. I can give it a name. I'll just keep it as testing. And then when I close this particular file or this tab, what I've done is it should update it. My document, maybe there we go, testing. So if I go back to my Drive here, I'm just navigating. Here is my brand new test folder. And within my new test folder, there's my new file that I created just from within Google Drive. Anybody have any questions on how do you manually start creating a file and a folder using?
The first thing is that you have to have Google Drive on your iPad. I have it on my phone, so it doesn't look like this on my phone.
No, it's going to look a little different. Yes.
Right. So this setup I have to download the app on my iPad to see if I see this. So I just wanted to,
Yeah, exactly. And so again, when I click on this new button here, you have the same option. It's just there's a plus sign on your button in mine. I have an iPad mini and mine is showing up on the lower right-hand corner, but when I tap on that plus sign, it gives me the same options. And so you'll recognize it. You're like, oh, I just have to click on folder, create a new folder, and that's how we start. And so, so test folder, my Drive, and you have different ways of navigating on, and this is the web version. I can come up here and just click on my Drive, and it brings me to the very top level of my Drive. And here are all of my folders that I've created, and there is my test folder. The other thing that I can do, and I'll just open up, I'll double click on my test folder just to get back there. In addition to manually creating a brand new folder, as well as selecting one of the Google apps, and there are more down here, to manually create a file, I can also upload files from a device. And so when I click on File Upload, what it's doing is, this is my laptop drive, and then these are all the different files that I can go ahead and select one or multiple files from. And when I do that, what Google is doing is Google Drive is now uploading the file. And you can see it uploaded successfully because I have my check mark right there. And then I can just simply close on that. And again, on a mobile device, you'll have the same type of options here. And so that's how you can start uploading files to your new folder, or you also have the option to upload an entire set of folders, and you can select that from your device, or in this case, it's looking on my C drive, on my hard drive. And so that's the way that you can start moving files. And what you're doing is you're copying files. So this file that I just uploaded, I didn't delete it from my device. I simply made a copy and uploaded it to my Google Drive. And that's important to know as well, because people think, oh my gosh, am I removing them from my device? No, you're simply making a copy and moving it up there to your Google Drive. And by the way, you'll notice that what I uploaded, this is a Word document. I use MS Word as well, Microsoft Word. You can always upload it and then open it, because what Google is doing is they're uploading it using their Google Docs application. They know how to do this on the fly. And so let me know if you have any questions about this. Okay, so that is how we can start uploading, creating files and folders. And by the way, you can also download information from the Google Cloud, your Google Drive, to your device. And let's go back. I just clicked on my drive, and it's the same as if I clicked on it here. There's another set of functions that we have access to. So I clicked on the new button to show you how to create new content, if you will, new folders and files. If you wanted to make some changes to existing files and folders, I'm just here on my Google Drive, and on my laptop, I have my mouse. I am just going to right click on a particular, in this case, folder. If I right click on a folder, you'll see that there is a whole nother menu that's available to me. And if you're on a mobile device today, a tablet or a smartphone, you'll see 3 dots. And when you tap on those 3 dots that are next to a file or a folder, it brings up the same menu. So that's how you'll be looking at this. So I'm going to, yeah, question.
So this, if my Gmail account, I have the same, like stored, trash, whatever, it's the same thing. What's the difference between the drive is just the storage, Like if I bring something, I see something on Google, on Gmail, and I want to put it in the drive. Can I, how do I do that?
Yeah, that's a separate class. I mean, typically what you're,
okay.
yeah, so typically what you're seeing here, Gmail is different. you really, even though your Gmail, the actual email messages do count towards that 15 gigabytes of storage, what you're using here, what you're seeing here with your Google Drive, this enables you to access files of any type that you've created using any of the Google apps. And if I click on this little waffle icon, if you've used any of these Google apps, whether it's photos or docs or sheets or any of these, this is where you'll be able to view them and access them. If you want to delete them, if you want to rename them, that's what I'm going to show you how to do next. So great question though. Keep asking the questions. That's how, we can learn. I went ahead and I just double clicked and you can, or tap if you're on a mobile device. I am just opening up my test folder here, and I want to show you the different actions that you can perform on files, folders from your Google Drive. And so again, I'm on a laptop, so I'm simply right-clicking on my file name. And on your mobile devices, you will just tap on those three dots and you'll get the same menu. So what can we do here? First of all, we can make a copy of a file, and that's what this option is here. We can make a copy of a file. I'm going to click on that. And here we've just simply made a copy and I'm sitting in my test folder. On that copy file, if I right click again, or you're going to tap on those three dots, I'm bringing up this whole new menu, and maybe I want to rename this file, and I will just tap or click on rename. And what it allows me to do is just type out a new name for this particular document. And I can just say, my Tuesday document. Very original here. So you can copy, you can rename. Let's go ahead and right click on this file again. Other things that I can do, I can add to start. So let me go ahead and add to the start. And the question is, where do you find the copy? The copy is right here. I'm in my test folder. And I simply made a copy of this file, and then I renamed the copy. And now what I'm doing is, you'll notice there's a new star. There's a little star next to it. And I did that simply by, in this case, I'm on the laptop. So I right click on my laptop with my mouse and I clicked on starred. And what's really nice about that is on the left-hand side where you have your system generated folders, if I click on the starred folder, you see that there's the my Tuesday document. It's right there. So it's just nice. It's a quick way to be able to access documents that are important to you. To get back over to that test folder that I created today, I can simply come up here, click on my test folder, and there I am. A few other things that we can do here. If I right click, let's go back to my, if I right click on that folder, I can download a file or an entire folder. And when you click on download, what it's doing is it's making a copy of that document. I'm going to save the file. It keeps the original, and then it simply downloads a copy to your device. And typically it's going to move it to your downloads folder on your, if you're on a laptop or a MacBook. So those are some things you can do. And again, if I were just to click on my drive here, if I right clicked on my test folder, I could download the entire folder. So what I'm showing you how to do can be done at the folder level. or simply I'm just going to double click on my test folder here. It can be done at the file level. You can also move files and folders around. So if I wanted to move this My Tuesday document to maybe my Tuesday folder, I have different ways of doing this. If you feel comfortable, if you're on a laptop like I am today and you're working with a mouse, you can literally click on the file and drag it into a different folder and it'll move it there. Or you can, again, right click on a file to bring up your menu. You can click on Move To, and then what you'll need to do is use this left arrow button over here to navigate back up to the top of your drive, your hierarchy, and then select the folder to move it to and click on Move. A couple of more, additional steps here, but both of them work. And now you can see it's gone from this My Test folder. And if I click on that Tuesday folder, it's over here. So I know a lot, I'm showing you a lot here. The last thing I want to show you is how do you delete a file? You can do this at the folder level or at the file level. You simply right click, and in this case, I'm right clicking because I'm using a mouse today. And then you simply click on Remove. When you get your right click, you have your folder, your menu. You click on Remove and you've removed it from your Tuesday folder. Where does it go? If I click on the trash, this is that system generated folder. There it is, my Tuesday document. Now, I've been going through a lot here. It's a lot to take in. So, feel free to come back and take the class as many times as you wish. But does anybody have any questions so far about what I've been showing you?
I just
Yes.
want to make a distinction that you said folder and you said file. So what is the difference between what a folder and a file?
Great question. So when you're over here on My Drive, do you see these different, they look like folder icons? Remember the manila folders?
Yeah.
Those are the folders.
Okay.
And you'll see right here, Thursday, if I click on New Test folder, all right. Let's go to, I think maybe I have something in ABC. I'm not doing a very good job here. Oh, I'm in the trash, that's why. Under My Drive, these are the folders, and within each folder, you will have individual files. Yep, great question.
Vicky,
Yeah, hi, Josie.
hi. I created the folder, but I'm not seeing anything on the left-hand side that you have a My Drive. Why is that? What did I?
Josie, are you on a tablet today?
No, I'm on a Mac.
You're on a Mac, okay.
Right.
I have an iPad also. I don't have a Mac with me. You don't see anything on My Drive?
Yes.
You do or you don't?
I don't.
Okay. So the Mac may be working just a little bit differently. So you're on a MacBook today?
Yes.
Okay. So you don't see these system folders. What I can do is I will go ahead and also include a screenshot of what it will look like on a Mac for you.
Thank you.
So yeah, that's the problem. We're all on different devices today.
Devices, right.
And, I'm thinking, and also please include this in your feedback today. If you think it would be easier to have taken a class that was specifically for, a tablet or a smartphone working with a Google Drive.
I think that's the answer. But there's so many different phones, tablets, computers,
Yeah, there
never
are.
ending, but
Okay, all right. And add that in your feedback too, because that's how we're making things better.
Mhm.
If people are like, oh, we have a lot of folks who are requesting this, then we need to make a class specifically just for folks who are on, tablets or laptops or phones. So thanks for that. And thanks for your patience too. Rose, did you have a question? I see your hand raised. I love that virtual raise hand.
Yes, I do. First of all, I apologize for coming into class late. I'm sure you've probably gone over this before I got here, but I do need to ask the question because I have no clue what to do and I'm absolutely sick of it. So when I log onto my desktop or my laptop, I always get this message from, I guess it's from Microsoft that says I'm not signed into a drive.
Yeah, I get that too. So that's OneDrive, and that is that's completely separate from from Google. So Google Drive is a whole nother application. I also have Microsoft's OneDrive, and I simply just ignore that. Sometimes I do use OneDrive, sometimes I don't. Just it's there. It's on your laptop, and simply just say thank you and close it down.
Yeah, because I'm never, ever going to use it. I have no clue what I'm doing.
Okay. And we do have a class on OneDrive too. So maybe you can take the class and, figure it out. So I use both.
Like the cloud thing?
It is different. Yes, it is. It allows you to synchronize your files from your drive up to Microsoft has a cloud too. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. The last thing I wanted to show folks is how do you share files? Now, Google allows you to share files and folders. First of all, you can share files from any of the Google apps, but if you're in Google Drive, you can do this as well. So you simply, again, I'm on the laptop, so I'm going to right click. And if you're on a tablet, you'll just tap on those three dots. And you'll see there's something called share here. And if I click on share, what it is doing is it's bringing up this particular new screen. And you'll see that with any of the apps. We actually have a class on how do you share and collaborate using Google. You will add an email address. I'll just select I have a Hotmail address. And then you're going to specify, once you specify what are the email addresses of the folks that I want to share this file with, you can determine, are they a viewer? Can they only add comments? Can they edit? And then you can send a quick message, hi, sharing this file with you. And then you'll click on send. And really what you've done now is you've shared this file, and you see there's another new little icon here that says you've shared the file with, in this case, one other person, and they'll receive an email message saying, oh, this file has been shared with you, and they can open it up and work on the file as well. And so that's how you can share a file, or you can share an entire folder with one or more people, and they can work on that file or have access to the files in that shared folder.
What icon did you click on to get the share?
Sure, I just, Joyce, if you're on a tablet, there is, you'll see three dots next to a folder or a particular file.
Yeah.
When you tap on those three dots, that brings up a menu option that looks, when I right click on my laptop, it looks just like this. Yeah. And that's where you have, it'll say share.
Okay.
Okay, and so that's sharing a file, and we have a whole nother class on sharing. So I just talk about it, I mention it here because you can do it from Google Drive. Very easy to do. And so, believe it or not, that is bringing us up to the hour.
Sure enough.
And I know we talked about sharing. We went through a lot, I know. But at least today, for those of you who are brand new to this whole world of Google, you know that Google, when you create your Google account, which is free, you automatically get a Google Drive. And it's your own private storage area for your files. And those can be photos, videos, documents, any file type will be stored in your Google Drive. You can upload files from other devices to your Google Drive. You can download as well. And just know that you can share information, you can share files, folders with others simply by using that shared option that I showed you. So a lot you can do. When I learned about Google Drive, it really helped clear up a lot of things for me, because honestly, I had no idea where things were being held. So any file that you've created using any of the Google apps are being stored in your Google Drive. All right, I want to thank everyone today for joining me. We have a number of other classes that we teach all about the Google apps, and these are just a few of them. And I'll be happy to stay for a couple of minutes after class if you wanted to get any help finding where those other where you can sign up for other Google classes or any other classes on our platform. I teach a number of other classes as well.
Your journey takes you.
So feel free to join me in any of my other classes. I teach Zoom classes, a bunch of the Google apps. I teach TikTok, Snapchat.
Or just across town.
And I will be sending
Even when we can't
everyone
travel physically,
after class
we can
notes
venture out
today.
in
You'll
spirit.
be receiving an email from me.
Travel
and again,
is a mindset.
feel free to give us feedback about other
Travelers
classes that
follow
you
their
would like us to have,
mine
out there.
generally
Other
take
classes
me
you would
to
like to see
Europe.
scheduled more frequently. And for Get Set Up, if you feel that you've really been benefiting from the classes that you've been taking, or any of the interest groups that you're involved in, social hours, let other folks know. We have some new buttons on different screens where you can share information with friends and family. And we're partnering with more and more folks, whether it's assisted care. We have states that we're partnering with, community organizations. And if you think one of the organizations you're involved with might benefit, just send us, an email at help@GetSetUp and let us know. And that is going to do it for me. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
I guess we had Rose's hand up.
Oh, we did. Rose, are you still on?
Yes, I just wanted to ask you right quick, how long did it take you to grasp, everything that you were learning in regards to, learning how to use Google? How long did it take you to actually understand it?
I'm still learning.
Thank you for giving me hope.
No, I'm still learning, and I used a lot of the Google apps for work when I was working in high tech. I still use it now for work. And so using it just helps you learn it as well. So once you start working a little bit with some of the apps, you're going to gain more confidence learning the new ones. And so Google apps really I find them much easier to use than some other applications that I've worked with. And that's specifically because they're not quite as feature rich as maybe some of the Microsoft applications that some of you may have used. And that's not a bad thing, because they're quick and easy to use, and you just have to dive in there, take classes that we offer. We offer lots of classes on all the different Google apps. Take them as many times as you wish. You can't hurt anything. It's just get in there and start using them and ask questions. I love when people ask questions in class. I know people keep saying, I'm sorry, I'm asking. Don't ever be sorry, because your questions really spark ideas for other people. So thank you so much. And Pat, I see your hand up. Did you have a question?
You know, it seems like all the Google apps have pretty similar formats. They all have share, they all have files, and you can do whatever within each one. And same with Microsoft, which I have been familiar with. I do a newsletter and everything seems to be coordinated around there. And to switch one from the other, is just more of a learning process of learning the icons and what they look like. Is that pretty much they do the same thing, except for one might be a little easier or user-friendly than the other? Is that
Exactly. Yes, you put it so well. That's exactly what it is. And remember, the Google apps are free. It's free to have a Google account, and it's really easy to share and collaborate with others on the Google platform. But yeah, it is. If you've used any, if you're on a MacBook and you're used to using some of the Mac applications, or you've used some of the Microsoft, you'll immediately recognize how to work with the Google apps because they're very, very similar. Yep, great point.
I can take my hand down again.
All righty. Any other questions that I can answer for folks?
No, I'm done.
You're done. Joyce is like, I'm so
Thank
out
you,
of here.
Vicky. Thank you.
I'll see you during the week.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
And
Thank
I will be
you.
sending you after class notes with some of those screenshots that I promised.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Bye.
Take care. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.